First and foremost, this is a social justice issue.
The reason to pursue this is because of social justice.
It is the principal reason I advocate for legalizing adult use marijuana.
The push to legalize marijuana in New Jersey is on, led by the state's new governor, Phil Murphy, who's made it one of his top priorities. And he's not the only one making the pitch.
The drug war in the United States of America has been a complete and utter failure.
We want to make sure that some of the revenue goes towards social justice issues.
The message has resonated with younger members of the Black community. It's the older generation that's having trouble getting on board.
I mean, I grew up in Orange, New Jersey. For me, weed was everywhere. I had aunts and uncles that all, smoked or whatever. But, the one thing that was consistent was that they were always looked down upon because they did. If they were sitting, getting drunk, it was okay. But as soon as they come in the house smelling like reefer, is what they call it in Jersey, it was always an issue. So for me, I was always, scared to touch it.
What am I looking at?
Man, you're looking at Viola. And we're starting off with just selling flower solely. What we're really known for is actually for concentrates.
Former NBA player Al Harrington has clearly changed his mind about weed. He's invested millions in his new company, which grows, processes, and sells all sorts of marijuana products out west.
I'm $5 million in, so I made a substantial investment. Obviously, people do stuff to make money, but I really feel like my company is going to change people's lives, and it's going to change people's lives through opportunities. It's going to change people's lives through medication and through education. Cannabis, to me, it's a miracle plant.
What went through your mind when you found out that New Jersey was pushing to legalize marijuana, or there was a chance?
Well, the first thing I started thinking about was how I can go back into my old community and try to uplift the community by bringing this industry there and creating jobs.
Where Harrington sees an opportunity, older members of the Black community who are still on the streets back home in New Jersey see a potential crisis. Last month, the Legislative Black Caucus hosted a hearing to talk about it.
Our kids are half out of their mind of smoking weed right now, calling weed heads.
There is no EpiPen for marijuana or THC poisoning.
They don't get up in the morning, they don't carry their butt to school.
It has an adverse impact on productivity.
The hair all messed up, the look. Let's keep it 100.
Marijuana will take your heart out twice as fast as nicotine.
That causes our kids to now developing schizophrenia. That's a fact.
A lot of the facts cited are widely disputed, but they're driven by a desire to protect a community that's been ravaged by drugs and incarceration for decades.
It's going to impact generation after generation.
Like many older Black leaders, State Senator Ronald Rice saw the heroin and crack epidemics firsthand and advocated for tougher drug laws to combat them.
If marijuana is legalized in New Jersey, what are you worried will happen?
I'm worried, number one, that people are going to get themselves killed in my neighborhoods. I know it leads to other things. I know it's gateway because I was a cop going back in the 70s. A lot of the crack people and heroin people started with marijuana.
Do you feel like branding the push for legalization of marijuana in New Jersey as a civil rights issue, mischaracterization?
It's not a civil rights issue. The civil rights issue is the way people are being treated, okay? That's the system. It's all about money, okay? It's money driven.
Rice's thinking has evolved since the 70s because of the way the war on drugs has disproportionately targeted people of color. He's introduced a bill to decriminalize marijuana in New Jersey, but Rice is only willing to go so far.
Is there a recreational marijuana legalization bill that you would support?
No. We should be telling them we ain't rolling this way. We're not voting for nothing.
Yeah, there's definitely a divide, but it's starting to come a lot closer.
Why do you say that?
Just because I'm seeing it every day. My mom, when I first got into this, she was very wary of it.
Does your family feel differently about reefer now?
Everybody does.
One of the concerns about legalizing marijuana in New Jersey is that there's just going to be a ton of weed in lower income neighborhoods, a lot of Black neighborhoods.
There's a ton of weed in the neighborhood now. So what is the difference?
The difference, if what's happened out west is any indication, is that the black community could end up buying its weed from an industry that's almost entirely white.
Do you feel like the black community has access to the industry out west?
Hell no. Fuck no, they can't afford it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's cost so much to even submit an application. You know what I mean? Hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then you have to show hundreds of thousands of dollars of working capital. That's why I had to continue to be an advocate to try to change some of these laws and break down some of these barriers so that we can allow some of the smaller people to participate and we can really uplift our community with this plant.
The same plant that has arguably done the opposite.
In some cases, destroy lives. That I just feel like it can right some of the wrong.